you everyone for coming today. It is a very delayed reaction and recognition to all of our wonderful volunteers, but as you may have noticed, there's been a couple of things happening around here, including the giant pandemic that we all are dealing with. So, thank you for your patience. I hope you all know that it was not our choice to postpone this, but obviously it's still very important to us, so we're happy to have you all here today. So when I first started Audubon a couple years ago now, I was terrified by the volunteers because you were all so nice and I did not know anyone's name. And it took me, I felt like it took a really long time to finally get comfortable with names. And I'm still working on them. Like I just met Pam Johnson and I see the names and I have to connect that face a couple of times for it to really stick. But everyone has been so lovely and so wonderful and so welcoming. And I've just been so grateful to each and every one of you. And I kind of see you all as like the aunts and uncles and maybe some grandparents in the crowd. And the staff are kind of like all the siblings, and we get along and we work things out, and sometimes we disagree, but we all come together, and then the aunts and uncles kind of pat us on the back like, well, now isn't that easier? Now, I'm not sure why it took you so long to get there. So we do appreciate the incredible community that you all really are such a huge part of here at Audubon, which we felt a significant loss of in March and April when all of a sudden you all disappeared. So it's so nice to see all of your eyeballs for now. A couple of quick things. If you don't mind, I appreciate you keeping your face coverings on during the ceremony, and then also while you're getting your lunch. And then once you're back at your table with your lunches, you're welcome to take those off, obviously, so you can eat. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Tina Preston, who is our lovely new volunteer coordinator, who has taken on this role in a very interesting and challenging time. So thank you all for being so open and welcoming of her as well. And I will give it to you, Tina.
It's great. Lee, you have to stand here, though, and hold the table down. Oh, right here. Important job. Yes, this is. Otherwise, we're going to blow away. Again. Do I move the mic? Can I do that? Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. When I interviewed for this job, the thing that appealed to me most was working with volunteers, and that's the truth. And so it has been crazy getting to know everyone during this time. I have no idea what you look like, really. All I know is, I can generally recognize a face, sort of, maybe, once in a while. But like Lee, it's been great and challenging to get to know everyone, and I'm very grateful for that. The friendships that I've built already here is like none other that I've really experienced. For some of you, you might know this is my second job. I retired from the Erie County Health Department in Buffalo, and I decided that I really wanted to do something to leave a legacy and dedicate my time to an organization that is so wonderful. And so it was, I think, a match made in heaven for all of us when I was able to come on board and be here with you. So volunteers, I get you. I love you more than I can say. There are no words in terms of how much we appreciate you. There are moments that some of you, I'm making eye contact with a few of you. The Unabomber in the back row is, she's incognito, I think. I don't know. She's got her disguise on. That's Jennifer, I know, right? So, yes, as many of you know, I replaced Jennifer Schlick, and she's in the back row right now because I made her come. But, yeah. So, I have no idea what I was saying. That said, I look forward to working with you more. I look forward to getting to know you all more. There's a few things that are on my mind that I just really, I'm speaking from the heart in terms of saying this. I have never felt so welcomed into any organization before, and I've been around with a lot of them. And that speaks to the character of all of you and how passionate you are for this organization. So I knew I was home just by the greetings that many of you sent me via email. You all said, "Oh, welcome to the family," and isn't that the truth, Lee? This is quite a family with all its dynamics that go on with it. I've managed to make Heidi mad at me in the garden this morning, but that's okay. We'll work through that. And Tom, where is he? Tom and I had a moment. Where are you? Okay, I don't see him. But anyway, yeah, there you are. He and I had a moment the first couple weeks I was on the job when I set off the alarm on the day one of day camp in the Eagle House, right? And so he comes running and he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And I'm like, right? So that was our moment together that I got to realize who Tom was, right? So that being said, I could talk all day about how great you are and stories and experiences that we have, but what you're really here is for the food, right? No, you're here to get recognized, long overdue recognition. And Lee's going to come up and do that. I'm going to hand them out as we go along, but I think make sure you mention this is from hours from last year, not this year. And speaking of hours, okay, I have been doing my very best on sticky notes and emails, and everybody is text messages, is communicating me with your hours. Bear with me. If you think something doesn't look right, we're catching up. Jennifer is one of our newest volunteers who's going to be helping me with catching up on volunteer hours, and I really literally couldn't do it without her and without you communicating that. So bear with me. If they don't seem right, just give me a jingle, call, email, and say, "Hey, Tina, what happened to my July hours that I thought I'd sent you and texted you?" I'm already begging for forgiveness on all of those faux pas that I guarantee you are going to be coming. Jeff made a really interesting comment when he was looking at the table and recognizing names and saying to him, and he said to me, "That person, that doesn't seem right." And I said, "I didn't have anything to do with this. I've just inherited this." And he goes, "No." He goes, "A person or two here really has a heck of a lot more hours than is stated there. So we know you do so much more than you put in for, your hours. We know that. And we know that you do it because you love this organization and you love each other too. And we're grateful for that. But, put your hours in, okay? Just send me an email. Don't be shy about it because we want to make sure that we recognize you in this ceremony. This is incredible. When I started doing the math of what 6,000 hours is, that's crazy. So with that being said, put your hours in, okay? Please, please. And I'm going to turn it back over to Lee to do the ceremony portion of this. Hey, isn't this pavilion amazing? Isn't it amazing, right? We had a celebration here and opened it a couple weeks ago now. It seems like months ago, doesn't it, gang? But isn't it perfect for something like this? I was just thinking how beautiful this is. So feel free to share that this is open for rentals, for showers and weddings and everything else. We would love to use this facility as earning some income, absolutely. Also, feel free to encourage more people to volunteer with this organization. We would love to have young people come on board a little bit more. So if you've got grandkids or older grandkids that want to become involved or know of some people, we'd love to expand the generations, if you will, of our volunteers. Because we've lost some this year, I understand, and that's sad. So we always have to be looking to build the idea of service and civic responsibilities with our young people, and I think Audubon is a wonderful place for that. So keep that in mind too, and there'll be more information coming on that, but really encourage you to start talking up the place with others, okay, and get them more involved too. There's plenty to do here, trust me on that one. We'll keep you busy. All right, Lee, please come on back up, and I will hold the table down.
All right. And I'm actually, this got short. I'm going to turn it back over to Terry, who would like to say a few thank yous of his own to some of the owls who put in so much time, which we missed so much over these last 6 months, and so we are very grateful to have them back. So first I'm going to turn it over to you, Terry.
Thank you. I guess I have the biggest group of volunteers, the owls. For those of you who don't know what owls means, old, weak, lame seniors. Old, weak, lame seniors. There's other variations, but Anyways, so before we go any further, the owls, you probably know what this yellow piece of paper is, don't you? It's a work order. We got to talk about this work order for just a minute. This work order, title of request, thank you. Location, grounds. Just wanted to say thank you for all of the hard work on the grounds. The trails, trees, and lawns look great. And the new swing is so cool. And projects and building maintenance are still getting done with no gaps. Signed, Katie. And this is to all of the owls. So I think this little piece of paper kind of says it all, doesn't it? It seems good to kind of get a thank you on a work order. Usually it's fix this, fix that. There's a tree down, whatever. I also want to just mention that the owls appreciate very much the support that we have gotten from Lee. We have acquired some new equipment, and there's even more new equipment out in the shop that some of you haven't even seen yet, but it really, we really appreciate very much the support that we've gotten. I just hope we can get through this virus thing so we can have the manpower that we need. Okay, that's all I got.
Well, that was a lovely surprise. Thank you, Terry, and thank you, Katie. I think it is really important. We spend so much time as staff. Hey, did you remember this? Hey, I forgot to tell you that. Hey, did you get this to me? We're trying to work on celebrating our victories more and sharing those and saying thank you to each other. So that was a perfect example. So thank you. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. The presentation of the name tags. Drum roll, please. Okay. So first of all, everyone, every hour, every person that is contributed to this incredible organization counts, and that is always very important to say and recognize. I think at any recognition. Today we are appreciating those who reached milestones as of December 2019. So again, we recognize we are a little behind, but so these are the folks that have put in this much time from, who knows, I don't know when a lot of these people started volunteering, many, many years ago. So we are very grateful to each and every one of you and those being recognized today. And I'm going to read the names of everyone, although many people are not here with us today. It's still important to recognize them and just say their names and be grateful. So at 100+ hours, we have Sana Alm, Wendy Bale, Mary Breckerink, David Ball, Willow Fodor. And I should say, when I do call your name, please come up. I forgot that very small tidbit, and accept your name tag. Thank you. I feel like I should have
Thank
mask
you.
on. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
You very much. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's very complicated with these masks. I keep thinking of the Karate Kid. Mask on, mask off. Okay. Okay. Marty Grunswig. He's an owl. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you very much.
You too.
Pamela Johnson.
Thanks, Tom. I really recommend you come today. Oh, sure. Yeah. You can come back up. Yeah, come back up. That's easiest.
Bob Kobaha, who is not with us today. Joe O'Hara. Somewhere there in the crowd. All right. Yeah, clapping. Clapping is good.
Oh, feel free to clap.
Yes. I know, we need like background music or something in this. Yeah. graduation music or something. There you are, sir. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for being with us through all this, too. Let's see. Isabella Pacina and Logan Pacina, who are also not here with us today, and Jared Smith. Those are the 100-plus hour folks, many of whom I'm guessing do not record all of their volunteer hours, but that is okay. We love you all the same. Appreciate every one of them. At 250 plus hours, we have Reg Boutwell. He's a kitchen gardener. Alan Brown, also a kitchen gardener / most events I can think of. Karen Loeb, also not here today. Miss Jennifer Pierce, not here today. Mr. Rick Sandberg, who is here today, one of our very important electrician owls. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Yeah.
And Don Watts, I think he's still here. There he is. All right. And Bob Williams, who is not with us today. So that's the 250 plus group. On to our 500 plus. We're getting into the big leagues here, folks. 500 plus this year, we have Elaine Crossley. Dean and Elaine Frentz, which I'm so glad to see their names printed. I've just always known them as the Frentzes, so I was like, yes, 2 more names. I don't think they are here today, although they were going to be. Oh, the other Elaine. Sorry. And that is our 500 plus hour, folks. And our 1,000 plus hours, we have Bonnie Bowen, who was not able to be here today. Karen Inwood. Carol Samuelson, who is here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love your shirt, too. Don Sharp, who is also with us here today. I want to make you walk all that way. Yes, lawnmower. I lost my place. And the lovely Miss Nancy White, also an owl, an incredible worker.
Thank you very much.
All right, and on to our 3,000 plus hour volunteers. That would be Miss Pat Breiniger, who does all of our press releases, an amazing job with that. And Don Weber, who I thought was going to be here today, but I don't see him in the crowd. He's a tractor. I know he's a trailer. He always has that trailer for us. He's very handy. He's a very good mechanic as well. And on to our 4,000 plus hours, Mr. Terry Lebaron, because he not only works here, he also volunteers here. 4,000 plus hours. And at 6,000 plus hours, and I believe in the running to take over the all-time record, which is held currently by Mr. Larry Brown. Not to intimidate you, Larry, but Tom's on your heels here. Tom Armella at 6,000 plus hours taking care of Liberty. Yeah, and like Tina said, that is a legacy to be left, I think, in the world. To be able to find something that you are that passionate about, to contribute, volunteer your own time. We understand. I have volunteered at many different things throughout my life, and I'm happy to do that. And I think sometimes people forget to recognize how important that is. So thank you very much for choosing Audubon, because we are very grateful to have you. And now, some notable moments from the year. I'm going to pass it back over to Tina.
we thought it would be nice to give an opportunity for people to share some stories or remembrances or memories that have happened over the last year. And I attended a lovely celebration, and many of you did, that Elaine did for Barb Chase, right? Not Case. I keep calling her Case. Barb Chase. Case. Case. And I felt like after that, I knew who she was, and it touched me, and it really touched me. And that gave me the idea of including this into this ceremony is, let's celebrate each other too. So we are asking you to, if you have something to say, a funny story, a thought that you want to share with others, a remembrance, a moment, we'd love to have you come on up and just take a minute and do that. So, any takers? Any takers, Jeff? Thank you, Jeff, for volunteering.
So I don't have any, can you hear me in this microphone? So I don't have any specific stories to say because there are so many times that I've worked with different volunteers and you're all absolutely wonderful. But on my way home yesterday, I drove past a little sign from my neighbor who says essential worker because she works in a nursing home. And I drove on biking with my kids on the next block. There's another sign that says healthcare hero. And that's who you guys are to us. You are our essential workers. You are our heroes. Without you, we could not function. So just thank all of you. You're wonderful.
Anyone else want to come up? Anyone else have a few words to say?
I just wanted to add, it was nice, since I haven't been down here that much, it was nice to see on Facebook what people have seen, like the checker caterpillars and so on, the things that they've seen just walking around and
Yeah,
working here.
yeah.
So I was very happy to capture those. It was really nice. They did a lot of photography.
That's great. That's great. So kudos to Jeff for keeping our Facebook page up and running. But Elaine, did you want to say something? I know that you had something on your mind.
Well, I wanted to share the story about the garden shed again. I shared it at Barb's memorial. Barb Case was known as Monarch Mama. She was very soft-spoken, and in fact, I got hearing aids so I could hear her. No, just but I would help her in her gardens, and when she couldn't weed, and she would say, "Now be careful. That's a baby, blah, blah, blah. Don't pull it out, don't weed it." And if I was trimming a bush, she said, "I gotta watch you like a hawk because you'll trim something you're not supposed to." But the garden shed story was kind of special. There was an old outhouse out where they banned the birds out there, and I don't remember if she took me out there to see it, but at the time, the volunteers were going to the back of the building to get their tools, and then we'd go out and we'd work 2 hours, and we'd take the tools back, and we'd be so tired, and she said, "We really need a garden shed." So she approached the powers that be, and, well, they said, "Look for one, see what you can get one for." Well, she came to me and she said, it's gonna cost $1,000. She says, "Audubon doesn't have $1,000 for a garden shed." But she says, "I know there's an outhouse out there in the woods." I said, "You're kidding." I said, "Is it good?" "Yeah, it's in pretty good shape. It's solid." So she approached the powers that be again, and they decided, well, they would get the owls to go get the outhouse. So the owls got the bucket. They go out, and we arranged, and they brought it over, and they were going to set it over next to the trees over there. They were just getting ready to unload it, and I go running over. No, we want it next to the garden. Next to the garden. So they loaded it back on, took it back over, and put it.
Was supposed to be an outhouse for you guys, or
I don't know. So we put shingles down on the floor, leveled it off, and they set it on blocks and we had our garden shed. So then it needed a roof. That's what it needed, and a little paint. So we touched it up. Sharon Reed at the time volunteered here, and I've lost track of Sharon because I really wanted to get in touch with her to come to Barb's memorial. But I couldn't find her. And so she and I started putting shingles on the roof. We donated some extra shingles we had, and Sharon and I are up on the ladder putting the shingles on, and the owls are standing in the driveway looking at us like this. And Sharon says, we'll show them. This is going to be the best garden shed ever. We made signs for it, decorated the windows, got the paint on it. They put us a rain barrel there, and we immediately put all the tools in it. And it was really nice to have the tools right next to the butterfly garden. I think it was the next year we moved the butterfly garden up on the hill, and Barbara was instrumental in that. She always thought things through so carefully before she did anything. She drove me nuts. But anyways, so she planned. I said, I'll be your worker. You know, just tell me where you want stuff. And so we helped her plant the butterfly garden. She mapped it all out. And so I guess she invested a lot of time here. She loved nature. And any plant that I can't identify now, I look up to heaven and say, Barb, help me, what is this? I go online and look, and half the time I can't find it, you know, but she would know what it was. And she was just amazing. She knew about orchids, moths, monarch mama. She was in the butterfly festival here. And she says, I'm not good with speaking to groups, but I like one-on-one. And she did like one-on-one with the kids and tagging the butterflies. So, and she got my name online, and that's how we met, and we were best buds. So, that's it.
Oh, please, but you have to come to the mic.
The other side of the story.
I was an active volunteer. I was an active owl at the time that outhouse was moved. And to begin with, the outhouse out at the pavilion is where Audubon started. We've come a long ways from an outhouse to brand new toilets, which we had installed not too long ago. With power flush and everything else. When we went out to get that outhouse, we cut the 4 supports around the bottom with a chainsaw, lifted the outhouse up, got it on a bucket to bring it over here, and then here was this toilet sitting out in the middle of the woods. And I can remember the great debate that we had. Should we leave it here? It would make a great conversation piece. Ultimately, I think we got orders from up above that says, you got to dig a hole and you got to bury it. But I can still remember seeing that outhouse sitting out in the woods. I don't know if anybody used it or not.
So was there a toilet in the building?
Yes. Porcelain toilet. That was in the outhouse, and of course underneath the toilet was just a big hole. So, but yeah, I can very well remember that incident. We had some fun with it.
So I don't know if you all know me or not. I don't have the chance to work with all of the volunteers, but I'm Kim Turner, one of the staff here. And like Terry, I manage a small group of volunteers, not nearly as large as the owls, but I manage the live animal volunteers. And a lot of times they work behind the scenes, and you don't really get to see them. And, you know, they're here on the weekends or early in the morning, or, in the prep rooms. So a lot of times, unless you work with the animals, you probably don't see them or know who they are. And without them, we wouldn't be able to have live animals here at Audubon. I started as an animal care volunteer and slowly worked my way into now managing that. And it's my favorite part of the job, not only because of the animals, but also because of the people that I get to work with that help care for them. And yeah, the animals are such an important part of our education. And so the help that we get caring for them helps us teach, children and adults about the importance of our native species and about, all of the different animals that we share this land with. And having that up close and personal interaction with animals here at Audubon, I think adds a different level to our education. And so I just wanted to put a special thank you to the live animal volunteers, because you guys help me so much and there's no way that the job can be done by one person. And so all of you are so valuable.
I was asked by a visitor what kind of turtles are in the turtle enclosures.
Out front?
Yeah.
So we have the snapping turtle, who is out there for the summer, and then the secondary pond, red-eared slider goes out there sometimes just during the day. Because it doesn't have a cover, they can't stay out overnight.
Yeah,
But
I told him I didn't think there was one in that.
yeah, there's not always, so.
Bring them out.
Mhm.
Snapper, okay.
Yep.
Never seen that guy come out up there.
His little head pokes up every now and then.
Are there any other memories, comments to share? Oh, Miss Jennifer Slick, who is very well disguised, but she was outed by Tina. I'm so grateful because I did a very awkward, hi, I don't know you.
I just want to say that this COVID thing has been a nightmare, but on the other hand, there have been certain blessings as well. One of the blessings is that, this is going to sound weird, but without the volunteers here, we were absolutely crippled. It gave us the opportunity to find out firsthand what you all do, because we ended up having to do it. So I just wanted to add my thank you and applause to you.
And yeah, that's an excellent point of transition for me, because each and every one of the staff members work with a group of volunteers, which takes time and energy and building relationships. And again, they rely so much on you to help fulfill their ideas and dreams for this place. But it does take their effort and their willingness to work with and train and teach different people different types of skills. So one more last bit of gratitude towards the staff who have always been so generous with their time. And yeah, it's been really quiet. When COVID first hit, it was dark and cold, like we weren't turning the heat on, and we never saw the volunteers, and we kept the lights off. I don't know if we were just torturing ourselves or, but it was. We were in mourning. We didn't see your friendly faces coming in. So we're so happy to be getting back to that little bit of normal every step of the way. So thank you again to the staff and to everyone here today and everyone who cannot be here today.